In 2022, I read 71 books. On my Goodreads TBR, there are 80 books. It's not so completely far out of the realm of possibility that I could read everything on my TBR in 2023. I'm not saying that, like, I wouldn't put anything new on the TBR, just reading everything on the TBR that was put there in 2022 or before. Is it really possible? I don't know. I think my real goal, would probably be to read through half of my TBR and get it down to 40 books. But it would be really cool to read all of them, or at least try to read all of them. I don't want to force myself to finish books that I don't like, particularly since I started this list in like 2012. That was over 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm a different person now than I was when I was 20. And 20-year-old me would definitely read different books. So it's okay if I DNF some of them. I think it still counts as, like, we're going to count that as read, or at least attempted. I at least want to go through all of them. And this does include books that I have on my physical TBR. I put everything on my shelf that I currently have. It's currently December 30th, 2022, by the way, when I'm recording this. So I, like, went through my shelf and, like, put everything that I haven't read on my physical shelf on my Goodreads TBR. So that's, like, all of it. I'm sure there's books that I know that I want to read that I don't have on there, but we're not going to count those. But yeah, do you want to go through it with me? And we'll take a look. Okay, let's go. Okay, so welcome to my Goodreads page. So currently reading, I have Kushiel Start, which I just got for Hanukkah, Queen Victoria Demon Hunter, which I am currently in the middle of, and The Mists of Avalon, which I have been desperately trying to finish since I started it 2 summers ago. Yeah, I'm having a problem with it, but we're also going to include these on my TBR for 2023. So as you can see, I completed 71 books in 2022. I don't think I'm going to sneak any more in before New Year's Eve. So yeah, it's not impossible that I could get to 80, I don't think. Obviously, I intend to read things that aren't on my TBR. I don't want to only strictly stay with that, but I think it would be really cool if I was able to read all of them. Again, I think a more reasonable goal is probably getting through half of them, but even so, we're going to aim for 80. All right, so let's go through. I started in 2012. So there's definitely some stuff in here that I might not put on my TBR now. A Dangerous Inheritance was, for some reason, I went through a phase in high school where I got really into British history. So I think this is a tie over from that. The King's Damsel is based on The Quest for Camelot, which I loved that movie when I was a kid. Apparently this is a lot more hardcore than the movie. I've had a really hard time tracking it down, though. So if I can't find a copy of it, but that one might be a bit harder. These are kind of heavier. Ripper, Shore, Stealing Rembrandts. I definitely read a bunch of art theft books when I was doing my art history degree a couple years ago, and that's, I think, a holdover from that. This one is also a holdover from that, A Royal Passion. I wanted to read that book based on a painting that I saw of these two. They had a bunch of marriage paintings, and you can see them slowly getting further and further away from each other over time, and I think that's just really interesting. So I have a bunch of these on here. Mariah Mundy, I think, is a kid's thing. So those will probably be pretty quick to get through. Taliesin, Stephen R. Larhead wrote a couple of series that I really liked. There was a Robin Hood series that I really enjoyed, and I think this is King Arthur. So we'll see if I still like him or if my taste has completely changed. I don't know what this is. And I don't know what this is. I think this is detective. I've read one of the Dresden Files books, and I want to read the first one, so that makes sense. Trytel's Chasm is an epic fantasy standalone novel. When Princess Anya fails to appear to a betrothal banquet, the tiny, peaceful kingdom of Cecily is plunged into intrigue. 2 warriors are charged with recovering her, Taskin and Mikkel. The princess's trail vanishes outside the citadel's gates. Anxiety and tension escalate. I love fantasy novels, but I have such a hard time picking a new one because all of the blurbs for all of them sound identical to me. It's so much about the world building, and you can't really convey how good or bad that is in a 2-paragraph blurb. You just can't. So, sure, we'll give this one a go. It's a 3.83 on Goodreads. Could be good, could be terrible. We'll see. Let's see. Red Rising. It's a Goodreads choice winner. This is probably where I found it. Oh God, is this a romance? I live for the dream that my children will be born free, she says, that they will be what they like, that they will own the land their father gave him. I live for you, I say sadly. Ao kisses my cheek. Then you must live for more. Okay, that's interesting. That doesn't sound like the kind of thing that I would like. Ooh, 2 stars, 1 star, 5 stars. I mean, it's a beautiful book. 2 stars. I suppose boredom is a feeling. Okay, we'll see what I think of this. Ugh, I'm a little scared. Pillars of the Earth, I'll probably listen to an audiobook. I think that's also kind of a dense one. The Company of a Courtesan, again, for my art history days. I think that'll be fun. Dear Creature will be fun. And then we get into some more modern stuff. It's clear that I took kind of a break from Goodreads between like 2016 and 2018. We only have one from 2017 on here. So all of these going forward will be slightly more recent. Forever and a Day is James Bond. So I had that one for a while. I'm probably going to save it for a summer read. It's on my actual physical shelf. So I'm excited for that one. A couple of these are thrillers, I think. Is that the 3rd book in a series? Why do I have the 3rd book in the series but not the 1st book in the series? Yeah, this is a finale. How about we adjust this and go to The Hatching instead? Let's not start with the 3rd book of a series. Okay. Deep in the jungle of Peru, where so much remains unknown, a black, skittering mass devours an American tourist whole. Okay, I'm sold. It doesn't have amazing reviews, but we'll give it a shot, and we're going to remove this one because we're going to start with the beginning of the series. Okay. Yeah, we have some fairy tale ones, collected Christmas shorts. Sure, I love a good Christmas horror story. Mayhem and the Enterprise of Death, I have no idea what those are. The Last looks like a thriller. Sure. Theodore Goss. I feel like I've read something else by her, possibly a short story in an anthology. A couple of these are definitely from horror anthologies. I try to, if I find a short story that I like in an anthology, I try to use it to find good writers and try to read a book of theirs. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes not. But I think all of these are probably from an anthology. Grady Hendrix. He's been a solid 4-star for me. John Dixon Carr, I really loved him in college. There's Nothing There I have on order at the library already. The House in the Cerulean Sea, I don't know what that is. The 13 and a Half Lives of Captain Blue Bear. So I read like number 12 in this series randomly. I got it from the library and I really loved it. I think the book that I got was kind of like a retelling of what happened in the first book in a weird way. So I don't know if this will be really repetitive or if it'll be really cool. So I guess we'll see. Let's see. Mayhem. This looks like a Victorian murder mystery. The Torso Killer. Cool. We all love a Jack the Ripper-esque story. The Enterprise of Death. As the witch pyres of the Spanish Inquisition... Oh my god, I can't talk. Spanish Inquisition. Blanket Renaissance Europe in a moral haze. A young African slave finds herself the unwilling apprentice of an ancient necromancer. Okay, that actually sounds really good. And all of these readers also enjoyed. I loved this series. Maybe my favorite fantasy series of all time. So, if it's like this, fuck yeah. Okay, great, good. I'm getting hyped. I'm getting hyped. There's some good ones on here. Okay. A Magical Island, A Dangerous Task, A Burning Secret. Linus Baker leads a quiet, solitary life. At 40, he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat in his old records. As caseworker at the department in charge of magical youth, he spends his days overseeing the well-being of children in government-sanctioned orphanages. When Linus is unexpectedly summoned by extremely upper management, he's given a curious and highly classified assignment. Travel to an orphanage where 6 dangerous children reside. A were-Pomeranian? Is that a were-Pomeranian? Okay. And the Antichrist. Okay, yeah, I'm sold on this. That sounds delightful. What a good time. Okay, The Good House. I really want to read something by her, but all of her books are so long. I think I've just been intimidated. The Prolorn Poodle is a spin-off of a previous series. Okay, so I read the Ink and Sigil series by Kevin Hearn, which has a tie-in to one of his previous series, and this is a spin-off of that previous series that I haven't read by the guy who wrote a thing that I also like. It's gonna be good. It's about a dog. It's about a magic dog. It's great. I am currently reading Wicked. My partner and I are like reading it together before bed. I read it in high school, and it is... I don't think I got it at the time, and I get it even less now. Gregory Maguire is such a unique writer. Yeah, I have thoughts. The Traitor Baruch Harmonon and Ordinary Monsters are kind of like, I might like this. I've seen people recommend it. It might be good. I'm not convinced that it's my taste, honestly, but I'm trying to keep an open mind. Dreadful Splendor, I think that's something different. What am I thinking of? Gothic Murder Mystery. Okay, that's not what I thought. This is brimming with romance, which is not usually my favorite thing. But a fake spiritualist is summoned to hold a seance for a bride who died on the eve before a wedding. That seems cool. We're gonna give this a good shot. Maybe the romance won't be overpowering. How to Sell a Haunted House. I have on order. I don't even know if it's out yet. Pinata was, again, this is an author that I found through a previous anthology. I haven't been able to find this. I've been looking for this book. Haven't been able to find it. We'll see if I can physically get my hands on it. The Writing Retreat doesn't come out until February, I think. I'm really looking forward to this. I really hope it's good. The main character sounded very #relatable. So, I say that ironically, I promise. I think these are horrors. Rebecca is like a classic that I may or may not like. We'll see. I've heard it, like, the ending is very open-ended, and I don't like open-ended endings. But also it seems really cool and, like, really atmospheric. So we're gonna try. T. Kingfisher, I discovered her, or maybe, like, rediscovered her this year, and I've I've read 3 books of hers this year. I've liked every single one a lot. So I'm hoping I really like her fantasy series. And this is just silly and looks good. I don't remember what this is. Juniper and Thorn is literally waiting for me to pick up at the library right now. Yeah, let's see what this is. Gripping Tale of Suspense. Bram Stoker Award nominee. When horror author Tad, terrible name, begins his latest novel, a tale rooted in witch trials, the words flowed effortlessly. The story poured forth, filling page after page with the most frightening character ever to crawl from his imagination. It was his greatest work, one that would guarantee him a position among legends of the craft. Was it really fiction? He inadvertently opened a door, one that would soon jeopardize the lives of his family. She wants to come back. At home, his wife struggles to keep their family alive, secretly wondering if she caused it all, a deal she made long ago, a deal with the Forsaken. Oh, they wrote Dracul, which I really liked. Okay, so this blurb isn't really pulling me in. It feels a lot like that one movie, a lot of horror movies where like the dad is a writer and the mom is like desperately trying to hold things together because he's completely absent. And, you know, she just doesn't understand his vision, quote unquote. But look, if she wrote Dracul, I will trust her. Okay. If We Were Villains might be a bit young for me. I'm not always a huge fan of young adult just because I find it tends to have a lot of romance in it, which isn't my bag, but I'm really hoping that that's good. This is a book of poetry. I'm hoping it's good. I haven't read a book of poetry in maybe not since college. So we'll see. Claire North, I discovered this year and I really liked. I'm very excited for this. And there's a couple books that I'm planning to do for videos here and a couple of ones on my bookshelf that I've been meaning to get to. All of these are ones on my bookshelf that I have had for like 2 years that I've been meaning to read eventually. So we're going to do that this year. We're going to read everything on my bookshelf and just have a bookshelf full of things that I know that I like. And if I don't like them, I can get rid of them. But yeah, that's really what I want. I don't have the space to curate a giant library as much as I wish I did. So it's really important that my bookshelf space is reserved for books that I want to read and books that I love. And if I can make space, then maybe I can have a little book haul. Who knows? Yeah, okay, so that's my TBR. Yeah, let me know if you have any of these ones on your TBR or if there's any that you think I should add. Why don't we aim for around 100, you know? No, but it would be really cool to hit 80. It would be totally awesome to hit 40. I'm excited to see how far I can get. So yeah, thanks for watching.